Hey, welcome to another episode of Foreigner and Friends. Bienvenidos a otro episodio del podcast Extranjeros y Amigos. I'm your host, Aaron Kelton from Fluentel, a language partner phone hotline that helps you practice speaking Spanish or English with native speakers from the USA and Mexico. Soy Aaron Kelton de Fluentel, una línea telefónica que conecta usuarios de México y los Estados Unidos para practicar inglés y español con hablantes nativos. Learn more at fluentel.com, or if you're based in the USA, text the word fluent to +1 540 782 3352 to get started. Aprende más en fluentel.com/Spanish. O si vives en México, envía la palabra fluent a +52 55 92 25 70 10. Remember, don't just learn a new language. Learn to speak a new language, because speaking is everything. Recuerda, solo no aprende un idioma nuevo. Aprende a hablar un idioma nuevo, porque hablar lo es todo. All right, on to today's episode. This episode is a bilingual song kind of episode. So the people who can benefit from this are Spanish learners and English learners as well, because the song will be in Spanish and English. Today's song is Sitting in the Corner by Cuco, featuring Adriel Favela and Casey Musgraves. I love this song. It's kind of a sad song when you listen to the lyrics about a lost love and pain, but it's upbeat, and it's got some really cool instrumentation. It's got this part where it breaks from being the 4 standard beats per section or whatever that's called. I'm not a music major kind of person. I never read sheet music, and then it goes into that waltz or like triple meter pattern. You'll hear that later on. Okay, so the goal of this is, what we're going to do is talk about the song so you can understand what's going on. Then we'll listen to it. When we come back from the song, we'll translate some of the phrases and words so that you can learn something. And then we'll listen again. And then when we come back, we'll clarify any doubts, any confusion, talk about where you can also listen to this song on YouTube if you don't have premium Spotify access, because otherwise you'll only hear like 30 seconds of the song, so you'll have to go listen to it on your own outside of that. But the reason I love this is because in Spotify you can see the lyrics, okay? And I don't know if you can do this on mobile, but at least on the desktop version on my Mac, I can turn on the lyrics and I can actually scroll through and click on the lyrics, the section, and the song will jump to that point and play. So if you want to hear something over and over or go to a specific spot, Spotify is great for that. But particularly for this song, there are 2 YouTube videos which are really nice. One is the official video. It may or may not have captions, I'm not sure. But there's another video which has all the words artistically done, and it's both on Cuco's YouTube channel. So that's really, really nice. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on in this song. So it's about this person who's remembering a time in the past when everything was happy. They were dancing, singing. It was New Year's Eve, I think, and unfortunately that moment and those feelings slipped away. It's kind of an easy song for native Spanish speakers to practice their English, because it's just a very small chorus. El coro es en inglés, and I think there's only eight lines in the chorus. But then there's a lot of Spanish, okay? So there's a Spanish verse, there's a kind of like a chorus that repeats in Spanish, and then there's that strange part where they deviate from the beat that they're on and go into that triple meter. Okay, so good memories, but unfortunately, it slipped away. And then the Spanish goes into the heartache, which is like, hey, you promised that we would last an eternity. Where's the love? This loneliness is killing me. It hurts that you're not here because I lived for you. I feel like you took advantage of me. My life is not the same without you. And so how am I going to get over this? With a little bit of tequila and weed, I'm going to forget you. And then he goes on to say, I'm drowning my pain in drink. I need to see if the drinking will help me forget because there's nothing left. So it's a really terrible heartache. And this person doesn't want to dwell in this feeling anymore. He says, deliver me from all my sorrows. I can no longer bear it. And what's going to happen to me without you? Okay, so it sounds like this feeling is very fresh. So that's what's going on there. The first part is in English, talking about the good times, but they're unfortunately slipping away. And then all the Spanish is all the heartache. Okay, so that's the gist of the song. So I hope I've prepared you for that. We'll now listen to the song. Again, I'll have links to the YouTube videos. If you don't have Spotify Premium and you want to listen there, then you can come back and we will break down all the lyrics so that you can understand the English and the Spanish. Okay? See you in a little bit. Okay, I hope you enjoyed Sitting in the Corner by Cuco and Adriel Favela and Casey Musgraves. Let's get into the English part first para los hispanohablantes. Okay, let's translate some of these phrases or verses, los versos. Now I'm sitting in the corner. So, en este momento, ahora estoy sentando en la esquina. Okay, so imagine una sala, like a room, and the person, la persona, está sentado en la esquina. I'm sitting in the corner. Where you'd lay down on your pillow and you'd see me, you would see me. Donde te recostarías en tu almohada y me verías. Where you'd lay down on your pillow and you'd see me. Donde te recostarías en tu almohada y me verías. We would dance and we would sing on New Year's Eve. Bailaríamos y cantaríamos en Nochevieja. There are other ways to say New Year's Eve. I don't think in English we say it any different. Siempre se habla New Year's Eve. But there are other ways to say New Year's Eve in Español. Nochevieja is just one. Okay, and remember, no soy un hablante nativo de español. I have some help from the community people I reach out to, and also Reverso Contexto, or Reverso Context, the app for translating. But yeah, that's what we got. The flashing lights decorate the ceiling. This is verso número 4. The flashing lights decorate the ceiling. Las luces intermitentes decoran el techo. And you will also hear el sentimiento, amor. And so that's also for the English speakers. You'll hear that. And he's setting us up for what he's talking about, the feeling that comes next. Verse number 5, can't ignore and can't avoid that it was there. And he's either implying I can't ignore and I can't avoid that it was there, or he could be saying you can't ignore and you can't avoid that it was there, or just generally can't ignore and can't avoid that it was there. No se puede ignorar y no se puede evitar que estaba allí. Verse 6, we had it all. It was the feeling. lo teníamos todo, we had it all, fue el sentimiento, it was the feeling. I try to grab onto the clock, trato de agarrarme al reloj. I try to grab onto the clock, trato de agarrarme al reloj. I can't accept that time is passing and it's fleeing. No puedo darle tiempo y a que pase y corra. I can't accept that time is passing and it's fleeing. No puedo darle tiempo a que pase y corra. There were other translations for this line in Reverso, and they have this feature called rephraser, and the one I chose sounds the most accurate to convey the same sense. So yeah, you might try that out. Or if you're a native Spanish speaker, let me know your thoughts and send me a message, and maybe I can correct it for the next time. Okay, let's break into the Spanish now for the English speakers who are learning Spanish. ¿En dónde está el amor? Where's the love? I don't know why he says in donde. Maybe he just needed another syllable, or it's more poetic. You could just say ¿Dónde está el amor? Where's the love? ¿En dónde está el amor? Que prometiste, that you promised, prometiste is past tense, duraría una eternidad. That you promised would last an eternity. It would have a duration. Una eternidad, an eternity. And then you can really hear it when he's singing. He says, vuelve, por favor. Please come back. Vuelve, por favor. Me está matando esta maldita soledad. It's killing me, this damn loneliness, this expletive loneliness, this expletive, I guess. I didn't want to forget to say, when you're listening to this song, it sounds like, okay, I'll get to this one in a second, but I didn't see that the song was listed as being explicit, so I don't think the word maldita in Spanish is a bad word per se, because I didn't see that Spotify labeled this song as explicit. So it's like this bloody loneliness, this damn loneliness, but it's not something more explicit. I think you know what I'm talking about, those words. Okay, me está matando esta maldita soledad. It's killing me, this expletive loneliness. All right, now we get to the repeating Spanish part. And something you'll hear is that the words that end on each verse, like aquí, por ti, así, de mí, sin ti, y weed, most of those, except for the weed part, sound like he's saying a que, por te, hace, de me. It's all kind of, I don't know if that's on purpose or I'm just mishearing it. I don't know, but listen for that on the next time. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to say about that right now. So let's go ahead and translate these lines. Okay, it says, me duele que ya no estés aquí. Okay, it's not estás aquí. It's that weird, I forget the name for that part of Spanish where it becomes an E, but that's what that is. Me duele que, it hurts me that. Me duele que ya no estés aquí. Cuando mi vida daba por ti, when I lived for you, cuando mi vida daba por ti, I think daba is like used to give. I used to give my life for you or something, when I lived for you. Yo no sabía que tú eras así. I didn't know you were like that. Yo no sabía, I didn't know. Yo no sabía que tú eras así. You were like that. Solo te aprovechaste de mí. And I've found that like this line is the hardest to say when you're singing it at that speed. Aprovechaste. Solo te aprovechaste de mí. And some of these words you'll have to learn how to like say them together, how people would either sing them in this song or would say them quickly so that you can recognize them in conversation. but it means you just took advantage of me. Like you weren't in it with me. You weren't committed to the relationship at the same level that I was. Solo te aprovechaste de mí. You just took advantage of me. Me duele que te portes así. It hurts me that you behave like this. Me duele que te portes así. That I'm not familiar too much with this verb portes, how it's conjugated here, but it reminds me of in English when someone comports themselves a certain way. They carry themselves a certain way. It's kind of like how they behave. Me duele que te portes así. It hurts me that you behave like this. Mi vida no es la misma sin ti. My life is not the same without you. Mi vida no es la misma sin ti. And again, when you sing this one quickly, you'll notice it sounds like the S's kind of fall off. Mi vida no es la misma sin ti. Because I guess if you really pronounce the S's and you enunciate the Español, then it would be very difficult to say this whole line in the verse that it's in. Mi vida no es la misma sin ti. My life is not the same without you. Con unos tequilitas y weed. Con unos tequilitas y weed. With a little bit of tequila and weed. Tequilitas. Tendré que olvidarme de ti. I'll have to forget you. Tendré que olvidarme de ti. Okay. We're still not done. There's a lot of Spanish in here, okay? But it's really fun. So the more you listen to this song, the more you're going to get. All right, there's a second Spanish part where he says, Estoy ahogando mis dolores en bebida. I'm drowning my pain in drink. Estoy ahogando mis dolores en bebida. Sigo tomando a ver si todo se me olvida. Sigo tomando, I keep taking is the literal translation, but it's like when you go to a bar and they say, what'll you have? What will you take is another way that you might think of that in Spanish. Like, what'll you have? What do you, I'll take a Bud Light, right? I'll take something. Sigo tomando. I keep taking, and he's meaning taking drinks. A ver, to see, si todo se me olvida, if I forget everything. I keep taking to see if I forget everything. He says, adios amor, amor. That's the most beginner-friendly line in the entire song. Adios amor, goodbye love. Ya no queda nada. And this is a nice phrase to remember. Ya no queda nada. There's nothing left. Nothing remains. Ya no queda nada. Nothing remains. Okay, the last Spanish part is where the music breaks from that 2/4 beat or whatever into that triple meter bridge or something. He says, baby, por favor. So another beginner-friendly line. Baby, por favor. And that just means, baby, please, por favor. Líbrame de todas mis penas que ya no. And something to pay attention to here, one of the notes I wrote down, is the que ya no. It sounds like it's part of verse 2 in this 4-verse section. But it really goes with the next one, which is puedo aguantar esta triste soledad, que ya no. Okay, so what I want to translate now is just the líbrame, deliver me, free me from, líbrame de todas mis penas, deliver me from all my sorrows. And then the que ya no is kind of like por qué, because. And then we'll go into verse 3 now. Puedo aguantar esta triste soledad, because I cannot bear this sad loneliness, or I can no longer bear this sad loneliness. That's kind of what the que ya no does, is I can no longer, que ya no puedo, I can no longer, is what that ya kind of does there. I can no longer bear this sad loneliness. Aguantar, to bear something, to bear a burden. And then finally he says, ¿Qué me va a pasar sin ti? What's going to happen to me without you? ¿Qué me va a pasar? Que it's reflexive. Va a pasar, going to happen. What to me is going to happen sin ti, without you. I've always wondered why, like, you can have contigo and conmigo, but you don't have sinmigo or sintigo. So, yeah, it's just different. Okay, that is the entire song. So again, the easy English part, there's just 8 verses. And then there's a whole lot of Spanish, but it's a really cool song. The beat, how it sounds, the rhythm, and even though it's pretty sad, right? Good times turn to bad times, drowning your pain in drink and weed, to forget a love. It's just really catchy. I love this song by Cuco. So again, with those translations, and remember, there's a YouTube video that you can find in the show notes where it'll have the lyrics, okay, and nicely displayed, or you can use Spotify if you have Spotify Premium, and you can listen to, or you can see the lyrics there as well. And so hopefully that helps you understand more as we listen to it another time. I'll talk to you in a few minutes. All right, I hope you enjoyed listening to Sitting in the Corner once again after learning some of the lyrics and what some of these words mean. If you would like to help me host the next episode, whether you're a native English speaker or un hispanohablante nativo, especially if you're a native Spanish speaker, because I have a full-time job. I'm not getting paid to do this kind of thing. I'm still learning Spanish, and breaking down the song and going through this process is kind of helpful for me just to learn the song itself and learn the language better. So I get a kick out of it, but I may not be giving the best information to Spanish speakers because I'm not a native Spanish speaker. So if you are one and you would like to help me host one of these episodes, or even suggest a song that you would like to see here and host, send me a message and we can arrange that so we can do it together. The next thing is vote for the song you want to hear next. So here in Spotify, or if you're listening on Spotify, you should see a poll with a few options of songs that you want to hear covered, and we'll do whatever songs you want to hear next. There will also be a place where you can leave feedback, so you can tell me how I can improve the show, or if you have nice things to say, send me that as well. I think you can send voice messages or text messages in Spotify. You can also find us in social media. Just look for Fluentel and send us a message there so we can know how to improve the show. And then finally, if you found that this show helped improve your English or your Spanish, or you are appreciative of discovering new music, new bilingual music that you didn't know about before, please leave us a review in Spotify. It will help other people discover the podcast so that they can benefit from it as well. If you're listening on YouTube, please like and share this video. And I really appreciate your time. This has been one of my favorite songs. I've played the heck out of it for the past, month or two. And we'll catch you next time when we will do another episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.